Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback. My name is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and my co-host.
Yes, Mark Cummings. It's going to be a great show.
Yes, it is. So many wonderful things that have happened, and we have one of them here this morning. But first, I just want to say happy Monday to Jackie, to Ron, to Al and Carl, and to Sister Fedora and Sister Charlene. Who do you want to say hey to?
Well, the usual suspects, the Howard guy, Chef Jeff Tony, Mr. Bill Hill, the comedian, Mr. Frank Sorrell, the real estate guy, and the barber, Mr. Eric Stotts.
All right, yeah. I gotta say good morning to Jesse too. We have a guest with us this morning who is a winner, and we are very glad to have her with us, right, Mark?
Man, I am excited because I'm telling you, I can feel the vibe when we had this sister on 2 months ago. She was running for DPSD school board, and she already got an organization doing great things, connected with Cass Tech, and I'm telling you, when you got to run against 23 other individuals for 3 slots, you done something right, and the people got to believe in you. Our newly elected school board member, Monique Bryant. Show the love to the listeners.
Thank you, Detroit. Thank you so much for coming out. All 43,000 plus of you who voted for me, and I came in second. But, second doesn't mean you won't be number one down the stretch. And so I appreciate that, and I look forward to joining the board. My term begins on January the 1st, but I had a day off after the elections, and I've been running ever since.
Yes.
dropping in, visiting schools, and doing what I promised to do, guaranteed engagement.
Oh, wonderful. What is one of the first items you want to challenge?
So my platform was community engagement, and out while campaigning, I had an opportunity to speak with many community members who expressed their distrust, the overall disdain they had for our students not meeting the curriculum success. And so those are things that I'm carrying forward. One of the other issues which came to light, and it was tabled this past month for the school board vote. They want to make some changes to the community comment. And so I have not had an opportunity to review everything, but what it seems to me is we should not be making any changes for community engagement and making comment. I don't believe that we've done a great job at being inclusive with the community. And I think anything that discourages our community from coming out and actually speaking is discouraging. DPSCDC for community, we have to engage our community. It's really going to take a village, as you hate to keep saying that, but
it's not a cliche, folks.
It is not a cliche. We need all hands on deck to turn this ship around here.
Absolutely. Well, tell me this. There's an issue that's been going on for, it seems like 4 years now. $94 million was on the line. It's for tutoring. And our children, particularly because of the COVID pandemic that took place are in need of some additional assistance, which is to come by way of tutoring. $94 million was won for the benefit of the students. Since that time, it seems like everybody's fighting over, well, I want to control the money. I want to control the money. Well, when are they going to be concerned about tutoring the children? You know, have you read or heard anything about that?
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Now, I first want to say is we've had a budget already passed with some expenditures. So, you know, I'm coming in as well as Ida Short to the board.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is that in the last few weeks, we have gotten the news that we are now on, first of all, 500 students, high school students,
Mm-hmm.
Signed up for this after school tutoring program.
Right, and they'll get paid.
Right. So there are 3,000 students, 500 students signed up. However, out of that 500, only 20 from each high school will be allowed to be tutored at 20 sessions at the $2,000. Now, stop right there. Because one, as a parent of a high schooler, we never got that information beforehand, before the kids signed up. And what are we determining, or how are we determining which 20 students get the tutoring?
Right.
You know,
They're going to receive the tutoring, or 20 going to give tutoring, be tutors?
20 students per high school.
Okay.
But you had
can
you
be
had 500 sign up.
Wait a minute. I want to assign the numbers to the category. 500 students signed up to be tutored, or to
Correct.
give to be tutored?
To be tutored.
Oh, and they're saying only 20
Per high school.
and how many high schools?
There are 16, I believe.
So we do the math, that's 320. So it's still 180.
And you had 3,000.
Yeah.
The problem I have had
Oh, no.
with the board,
Mm.
the superintendent and his team develops a proposal and submits it. So you had board members that voted for something, obviously without looking at the information. And go back. How are we determining what's the pre-evaluation for what students need to learn in what areas for the tutoring? And then is there an assessment afterwards? Because with these 20 tutoring sessions, what was learned? I mean, we're throwing, it's almost as if you're driving up 75 and throwing money out the window, as far as I'm concerned, looking at this. So for me, coming on to the board as a new member, I'm going to be that person that questions the information before me. We cannot base decisions on maybes and what may happen. Our students are struggling beyond belief. We also need attention to the services for parents, because the other caveat is if you miss one session, you lose the opportunity for the $2,000, not a deduction, but you lose that. So you've got to make 20 sessions. But what if something comes up? You know, we have transportation issues. You know, parents are, struggling trying to, if you're multiple students in your family, okay, I need you to come home this day. We've got an illness. I mean, we have lots of things going.
Shouldn't be that type of stipulation.
Right.
No.
Wait a minute. What is the $2,000 for, and whom?
So the $2,000 is meant to encourage students to attend.
To be tutored.
To be tutored.
Okay.
But now you're also crossing the line that your teachers who are doing tutoring every day, who are we bringing in to tutor? And I just not looking at the details.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pay paraprofessionals in the classrooms and brought in different, types of services, that might be a better fit to, increase the retention of students coming to class. And I'm not against the $2,000 because some students need a second job. They're helping at home cover bills.
Right.
So that is also something that should have been discussed, because the $2,000,
Mm-hmm.
okay, maybe we attach that to financial literacy. We start saying, hey, you need to save a little of
I
this.
agree with that.
How do you budget this $2,000
Mhm.
so that next year you have school clothes, you have some things in place. But just to give a child $2,000 and we're buying PlayStations and not being
Mhm.
responsible with that money, that's another issue I have.
Right.
Well, I want to say
Holy
this.
Toledo.
bro. There's so many things that we gonna be dealing with when she get on the board.
Oh,
That Lord have mercy, we don't even know where to begin.
well.
But I will say this: your pedigree is gonna be very important. When you said that Miss Helen Moore was one of your mentors, that said a lot to the people and the citizens of Detroit. Coming down, showing the love to her, researching Miss Theo Brogan, that said a lot to the citizens of Detroit. So now, to be honest with you, I'm telling you, because a lot of us don't know many of the members on the school board. Of course, everybody knows Sherry Gay Danielle, though, she was state rep, she's been out there. Ida Short did run for quite a few times as well.
It was
So
on
she pretty
before.
well known that.
Yeah.
But we want them to know that they got a person on this board that they can connect to and be close to. And that's the beauty, because you've been out there with the citizens, triangle organization, getting involved with raising money for these kids.
Mhm.
So you've been doing this for quite a while.
And not scared to speak up is important.
Absolutely. And, I keep reiterating to individuals. So I'm attached to Cass Tech because I'm a graduate there. But when I started my organization, co-founded, I didn't have any students there. I simply saw the need, and I started in my own backyard and built a network. But certainly what happens is that students from Cass are citywide and from suburbs now. So those students go back to those communities, and that is where the foundation begins for me, because you have every K-8 school is potentially a feeder school for exam schools. But what I would like to see is the return of education as we know it in our neighborhood high schools, where there was a pathway. There were programs.
Right.
I'm very big on programs, and a lot of times students feel that the need to attend an exam school because there are no programs in our neighborhood schools. And so rather than go to a neighborhood high school, they're in a charter school. And that is what my focus is on as well. After engagement, it's then programs for our students. Every student doesn't want to go 7 or 8 hours in a school building, sitting in a seat, where literacy is important. But it's also important that they learn some basic skills, some foundational skills for life. Art, music, the opportunity to learn fashion, sewing. So many things that we have taken out of our schools. Our students are oblivious to it now. They are. And we talk about trades. Well, this city cannot be great. I don't care how many championships teams win, what we build up downtown. It has to start in our neighborhoods.
Education.
Yes. And I need absolutely every person who voted for me to become engaged. Don't just, voting is over. But see, here's the thing. You've got to think 2 years beyond that. So what you see coming these next 2 years on the board, if we don't see previous or current board members getting on board to making change, being more in the thought of being community minded, then we should be looking to support community members running for the district in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those interested now should start doing their research. No more of this, you know, I just woke up and scratched my head and now I want to run. We're going to be engaged and we want to start right now.
Now, how long is your term?
So the term, I believe, is 4 years now for everyone, because when it started, it was kind of stacked. So you had 4 and 3. And so now you start to see a board, in my opinion, being built from this, you know, this moment on. So the last race, we had one new member, Latrice McClendon. So you know, the dynamics are really going to change on this board. And a lot of people have asked me, well, we've had a 6-1 vote just about the last, you know, 3 years. But that's going to change because you have community members now on the board that have a background, which everybody has their lane. Ida Short, you know, having previous experience on the DPS board, she brings the wealth of information from what previously happened and how the district, you know, ended up under emergency management. She is an English teacher, so she's focused on, you know, curriculum, and she's focused on literacy. She has a background with accounting, so funding is important. My role, I envision on the board as a member, is to be that leader for the community. So we, you know, everyone doesn't have the time necessarily. I do. And I'm willing to go out to the schools and bring back the information, bring back what is being said, and eyes and ears, boots on the ground.
There is a serious concern that I see as it relates to tutoring the children for what I don't know 100 years. We had phonics in the school. Then somebody came up with a bright idea for a new process, which is not working. There's been conversation about returning to phonics, but I'd like to ask if you look into that. Are they really trying to return? What's taking so long? And whoever came up with the idea of taking cursive out needs to be hung up by their toes. That is the dumbest idea, to take cursive out. And somebody goes to Secretary of State's office and was asked to sign, you know, driver's license sign. They don't know how. So you put an X on a driver's license? That's dumb. Anyway, the area of government, civics, we see what happened November the 5th when that's taken out of the curriculum as well. Because you have young people graduating, turning 18, now they can vote, but they don't have the ability to analyze, to research, to even ask questions, or go to some of the meetings and hear the candidates who are running for the various offices. Anyway, the rest of my case.
We just wanted you to come down and take your victory down.
Well, thank you
Ms.
so
Rhoda
much.
gonna be giving it to you anyway. So let the people know how they can become a part of your team.
So I'm in the process, myself and Ms. Short, we're in the process of onboarding. So that is the process with getting our email, phone numbers, computers, all those things that attaches us to the DPSCD administration. So I expect to have that in probably 2 to 3 weeks. As moving forward to that, we're having a swearing in for the 3 board members on December the 4th. That will be at the Dr. Levon Sheffield Bridge Center. And that is, I don't know, have the exact address, but it is on Grand River. And that is from 5:30 to 7:30. And each of us will be sworn in. We will probably have a swearing in, some type of formal ceremony with DPSCD in January. The first board member, meeting will be the second Tuesday of January. So there should be something there.
You know what location?
Well, the board meetings kind of move schools. So lately we've been at East English Village.
I'm sure we'll find out by then.
For sure, you know, one of the things that I will be doing, I have a few Facebook pages and social medias that I'll be flipping over now that I'm not a candidate. I will be a board member, and I will be switching those. But you will always have access to my information. It will be uploaded on the DPSCD website, DetroitK12.org, and we will have all of our information as incoming board members on the website.
Right. Well, we're just glad you came on down. We're glad you had you on.
I thank you for having me. I thank you for, you know, being in the community, giving voices to those individuals like myself, a opportunity to share our work and our vision. It doesn't happen, you know, quite often where you get invites from what we call our mainstream media because they're so focused on something else. But I will say this, I had no endorsements. I was in the top 5 of candidates for fundraising, $203,000, but I won a race with less than $5,000. And so that says a lot.
Second out of the 3,
so that says a lot about being in the community, being a part of community programming. People are fed up with, you know,
and already having a pedigree, like I said, for helping the community.
Well, and that has happened because people mentored me, and I was postured to receive it. You know, I really was. I welcome, you know, constructive criticism and building a team. It doesn't, you know, nothing happens with just AI.
That's right.
And also putting God first. You know, I thank him every morning before my feet hit the ground, and I welcome him and his spirit in guiding me in what I do. And so that I'm very optimistic and I'm very positive. I can work with anyone. We all don't have to get along. We all don't have to agree. But the one thing we're going to agree on is that we make the best decision possible with the funding that we have responsibly being made for our students.
Exactly. With the children in mind.
That's it. That's indeed.
Once again, Mr. Broden, I just want to thank Brother Craig Rush while I'm in the air right now. Brother,
Absolutely.
You introduced me to Sister Monique and said, you got to have her down there. I said, okay. And when we got to talking, you knew a lot of the same people I knew, and I was like, well, come on down.
Absolutely.
And let people know who you are.
He has been a parent. He had 2 graduates over at Cass Tech, but he was a football parent, and his son played football and his daughter ran track. And I was, you know, in with raising money, supporting those teams, but we would always talk on the sidelines. He's an author, you know, so he's poured into me a great deal. And he's still encouraging. And I look forward to working with him as well, part of my team, to keep me, you know, lifted and keep me focused and accountable.
We're going to have somebody come down every month, couple of months or something, and keep us up to date with what's happening.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely be in touch.
So
Thank you so much. Listen, she don't have to be, because I'm going to make sure that I share. She's going to be on my Facebook and when I'm sending out information, and my email blast.
Okay.
But I've got all her ideas, that what she wants to see return. So,
and let me see. Well, I got you here, Miss Brown. I wanted to give her.
Gifts.
Yes. I was hoping Brother Anthony Browdy could make it down this morning. It's okay. We talked about this book the last time.
We did.
Talked about getting these books in these schools.
Absolutely.
This one here, over 200 facts.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Business Book. Young kids, we're going to be talking about financial literacy coming up.
Right.
So look.
And he has one for the children, too.
Right.
Younger children.
Emphasis on history of black business in America, 1800s to 1960.
Mm-hmm.
That's for you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We're going to have you and Mr. Brogdon. We're going to get you guys together. You got a children's book as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we're putting libraries back in our schools. So we have, which I volunteered Mason. I got to stop saying elementary. It's a K through 8, but they just got redesigned, and so that is going to be one of the schools that I'm volunteering at. And I would love to champion, something where we have our students do pop-ups, businesses. So, this is a good start.
Once again, Ms. Brown, we got the bottom of the hour. We got another guest coming in.
This is really great. I've enjoyed you being with us. And congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
And for those who are tuned in, please refresh your orange juice, your coffee. Call somebody. Tell them to tune in right here. The Feedback of Hood Research Production. And we'll be back momentarily.
I'm James Ford, founder of the Obama Weekend, and a partner of the Hood Research Team, composed of the knowledgeable Theo Broughton, the super analyst Henry, and the colorful Al Martin. This team discusses politics, seen and not seen, at the national, state, and local level. But to enhance the goals of this team, join or donate to Hood Research by visiting Twitter or Facebook, or visit hoodresearch.org, or call 248-234-2371. You can also join Hood Research on Phonecast every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 978-990-5000, access code 338729. Thank you very much.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
Everybody settle, Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, that'll be enough to get out of this one. Just a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome our first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Warmer.
Wally Warmer here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Just this is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the...
Jim!
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the mini adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Bruton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. I always have to remind you to take us along with you and encourage others to do the same. We're also on WhatsApp. That's a good thing to know. And our next guest, Mark.
Yes, indeed. We have a professor in the building. She has authored a book. I just want to say thank you to Sister Shoshana over there, Detroit Tax Justice. Professor Bernadette Atahimi, how are you doing this morning?
I'm well. Thank you so much. It's good to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, man, it's glad to have you. You have penned a book that speaks to a big problem here in America. The title is Plundered: How Racist Policies Undermine Black Home Ownership in America. As Ms. Broughton would say, first let us all know who is Professor Bernadette Atahimi.
So I am a law professor. I teach at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, but I've been living in Detroit since 2017 because I do ethnography, meaning I live in the place I study. So in the fall semester, I'm in Detroit. In the spring semester, I'm in LA. And all my work deals with land stolen from Black people. So my first ethnographic project was in South Africa, looking at the land stolen during apartheid and colonialism. And I did over 150 interviews of people whose land was stolen and they got something back through the land restitution project. And I tried to understand the psychological, economic, emotional impact of getting something back in that first piece of work. And so that first project was really uncomfortable for me in many ways because it looked at Black people as the victims. So I said in my next ethnography, I wanted to look at Black people stealing instead of being stolen from. So I decided to do a project on squatting. Where people occupy property that's not theirs. And the last biggest squatting phenomenon in the United States was on the Lower East Side of Detroit. But what's currently happening in Detroit far outpaces that. So that's what brought me to Detroit. I won this big National Science Foundation grant to study squatting in Detroit. But as I was studying squatting in Detroit, there are two legal categories for squatters. One is called a takeover. That's when you don't have any prior legal relationship to the property. You just roll up on the property, what most people think of as a squatter. But there's a second category. I'm a property law professor. That's what I teach. We teach it. It's called a holdover. And those are people who had some kind of legal relationship, but they fell out of it. And in my case, I had to interview both to have an equal sample. And when I was interviewing the holdovers, one person after another said, I was the owner. I got property tax foreclosed. And then I became a squatter, right? I stayed and became a squatter. And so I was like, whoa. I'm trying to do this project on squatting. And I knew a lot about mortgage foreclosure, but I didn't know much about tax foreclosure. So I had to start really doing my homework. And then I found that there had been quite a bit of work done by economists at Michigan State and urban planners at the University of Michigan, about assessment inequity, because Detroit has one of the highest property tax rates in America. And they had done work on assessment inequity. Because I'm the law professor, I was the first one to come in and run the numbers to determine if the city of Detroit's property tax assessments were in violation of the Michigan State Constitution, the highest law in the land. Because it's one thing to say something's unfair, but it's another thing to say it's illegal. And that's what we were able to do in our first study. And the first study is between 2009 and 2015. In each of those 7 years, we found that between 55 and 85% of properties were being illegally inflated in violation of the Michigan State Constitution. And when we broke that data up into what we call 5 quintiles, quintile 1 being the lowest valued homes, quintile 5 being the highest valued homes, we found that in quintile 1 and 2, for the lowest valued homes, 95% or more of the homes were being assessed in violation of the Michigan State Constitution. And when we got to quintile 5, it was less than 20%. So we found that the most vulnerable homeowners are the ones that are bearing the burden of this illegality.
Wow. Well, the first question on that is there a opportunity for those homeowners to use the state constitution to,
like Sister Monique said, the mainstream press ain't gonna holler at you about these things, which is why you need WHPR TV 33, where you can get this type of information.
Oh, yes.
And when you go online to the YouTube page, pull that down and put it on your page for everyone to see. I want you guys letting there, because these shows are always informative.
Oh, yes.
We always got something for you and something to work with, and we putting people out there that they eventually end up on the mainstream, because they come here first, and then Channel 62 or Fox 2 or somebody catch up to them, and then they want to put them out there. But know that we are the ones who find them and get them out there. Hood Research and the Feedback Show, we ain't playing, getting things done. And Miss Broad, I just like to say, this week I was out and about again.
Yes.
A friend of mine from Howard University, Kelly Chapman, is a director of a film that deals with another situation that unfortunately seems to affect African Americans more than anybody else.
Whoa, tell us.
And that's going to prison and dealing with these prison terms that back in the 90s were, of course, called mandatory minimums. And one of the stories that most people recall from the 90s was the story of, I'm telling you, this is an important story, of Kimba Smith. And I'm putting the card up there for everybody to see. Kimba Smith, of course, was a young lady, come from a middle-class family. Unfortunately, she was in school and she was dealing with a young man who she said she didn't know was dealing drugs. This brother was dealing drugs and doing all kind of things. Well, when they broke into his home, she was there. She got arrested with him in the drugs. They were going to sentence this young lady to 10 years in prison.
Wow.
And she had to fight. And it was a long journey for this sister. But I recall Emerge Magazine was the magazine who got this information out to the masses, put her on the cover, made a big deal, and let people know, look, we're going to have to fight these mandatory minimums. And there was justice for her. I think she did about 3 or 4 years. But they got her out. Legal Defense Fund, they lost the campaign for appeal and later clemency. And she was given clemency. Now, for people who don't know, clemency doesn't mean that, your sentence is commuted, but it does mean that, you can get out of prison. And that's an important thing. So this is a story my friend directed. It's only streaming on BET Plus right now. But they were here at Wayne State, and they had a discussion about dealing with these old mandatory minimums. And there's a sister that's from California that's in prison right now named Michelle West, and they trying to get her clemency. She has spent 32 years in jail.
Oh my God.
Because she was being abused by her boyfriend and she killed him in self-defense. Gave her a life sentence. And since then they've commuted the sentences of a few people and they've gotten rid of a lot of these mandatory minimums. So unfortunately, she's gone through 3 presidents that could have commuted her sentence. Right. And Obama didn't do it. Of course, Trump but they're going to do it. And, Biden is considering it before he leaves. So hopefully we can get her out. But for more information, folks, this is why you listen to the show. They gave us cards here. I'm going to send out this card, postcards. It's called Show Mercy and Grant Clemency for Michelle West. These cards are going to the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of the Pardon Attorney, 950 Pennsylvania Avenue, RFK Main Justice Building. That's Washington, D.C., 20530. And you can begin involved with that. They're also doing what's called, and it's here in Detroit, there is an art exhibit. It's going to be at the Oleman Cafe and Gallery at 10215 Joseph Capo Avenue in Hamtramck, Michigan, between November the 23rd and December the 3rd. And it will be art called Real Pictures of Reentry, 300 Years of Imprisonment, 35 photographs and art for you to come out and speak about what's going on in the justice system. And you can make a donation to help these people that have been involved with prison sentences that were excessive. And, of course, I had mentioned Brother Marvin Cotton Jr., who we had on the program, who the Sentencing Project was able to get him out of prison because they did their work, and he had spent more than enough time in jail. So that's another issue that we're going to be dealing with, Mr. Broden. It's like,
absolutely.
It's like it never ends.
Mm-hmm. And the treatment that the inmates receive, and the one that comes to mind readily, is the new construction here in Detroit. And the company apparently did a lousy job because they have all kinds of plumbing issues, backups, and there have been inmates who have committed suicide and attempted to commit suicide because of the treatment. And someone said to me recently that the reason there's so much attack going on African Americans is because they're looking for employees. When a person is put into prison, they become inmates at the will of whomever.
Right.
And if a company needs somebody to dig a ditch or what have you, then inmates are sent out for something like 65 cents an hour. And it's unbelievable that anyone could be paid 65 cents an hour.
That's amazing.
However, but that's something that I'm hearing is going on. And to know that there are, when you talk about percentage, black folk in prison as opposed to other ethnic groups, and being used as cheap labor is what is desired. So it's so much that is going on that our people have to put up with.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. And as you said, it's almost harrowing. Wake up and you're in the middle of something every day of your life or something.
Right. And see, that's why I come back to education. Because if our people are not taught how to read so that they can learn how to analyze, it's difficult for them to know what's happening to them. And unfortunately, they end up with the Kool-Aid group. So
the Kool-Aid group.
Well, I have to explain the Kool-Aid group from time to time. For those who are familiar with the so-called preacher who went to Guyana, there were unfortunately some black folk who thought he was the best thing since sliced bread, I guess, gave up their belongings and followed him. Well, much of what he was doing was illegal and immoral and not fattening. But anyway, he had them follow him to Guyana. And when it became known of what he was doing, how illegal, etc., there was a congressman and police folk from the Department of Justice, etc., who went to Guyana. He found out they were coming. So he had his security folk gather everybody up and bring them into this room and gave them a glass of Kool-Aid that was laced with poison. They were told to drink a toast, hey, with the Kool-Aid. And like the Kool-Aid group that they were, unfortunately, they drank the Kool-Aid and dropped dead. And if there was anyone who chose not to, they were shot dead.
So they didn't have an option.
No.
That was the massacre in Guyana.
Yeah, right,
Jim
right.
Jones.
Yeah, so I think about January the 6th, there were two groups of people. The Ku Klux Klan, the Oath Keepers, and all of those who were hell-bent on violence. They went to the Capitol armed. But then there was this second group, the Kool-Aid group. They just thought, oh, we think that the changing of the guard and the presidents in the White House is not right, and we just think it should be stopped. They didn't come armed to do any violence to anyone. There was this group that brought 2 gallows. They wanted to hang Pence, the vice president.
That's right.
And they wanted to hang Nancy Pelosi. That's something that's not talked about a lot. But
and I believe Donald Trump called that the Day of Love.
Yeah, right.
Where they were walking through the Capitol with Confederate flags.
The Day of Love. Yes, I love to get you out of here. I love to kill you. That's what he wanted to do.
We are going into a strange stage coming up soon. We know what happened on November 5th.
Yes. So all of that points out that we need to consider how we are spending our monies, how we are supporting those in our community and our youth. They need to. We need to lift up and support our own. That's what we need to do.
Indeed. Now, when you asked about those numbers, Ms. Brown, I went on and Googled the percentage of black men that are in prison. And it's an overwhelming number. It's 28.5% of black men. So that you done already carved out a quarter of your men for jail. 16% of Hispanic men and 4% of white men will be spending or serving time in a state or federal prison. For black women, it's 3.6%. Now, the irony is there are more white women in jail than black women. How about that? That's some crazy stuff. But that's probably because there's more of them. But it's only by a small percent. And when I went to that meeting the other day at Wayne State, what I don't want us to get involved with is a tit for tat thing. Because I know a lot of the women were saying, you know, they focus mainly on the men in prison.
Yes.
But you got 28% of your men in prison. I mean, of course they're going to get more of the focus. But it's not like we don't focus on the sisters that's in prison. We don't want anybody in prison.
Right.
You know, we don't want a society where prison is even an option. So we just got to understand, like Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice, injustice everywhere. So it doesn't matter, women, men, we got to figure out a way to deal with this because they looking to put more of us in there. And like you said, literacy is tied to that. That's why they call it the school to prison pipeline.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know why it's so hard to understand. It's connected. It is connected. You know, a child is born and learns its first language from its parents. And then it gets to the age where they can go into a classroom and begin to learn more and more. But you gotta know that education is what needs to be focused. They need to focus as soon as possible.
Just want to put a shout out to the Shot News as well. Brother Gary Hunter was down there covering the piece at Wayne State University and they showed the Kimba movie. I wish I'd have been able to get the information a little sooner, but I did post it on our page and the Hood Research page. So everybody out there, always check out the Facebook page. It changes every day. We constantly getting information out about what's going on in the city, various events to show up at. There's a lot going on constantly. And Hood Research got their hand in it. And Ms. Broughton is about, she'd always say you do better if you knew better. So it's best to get out there and find out what's going on. Because it's a lot going on.
And it takes the time to attend some of the community meetings because you get an opportunity to meet your neighbors. You get an opportunity to meet candidates. You get an opportunity to meet business owners. Networking is a key phrase. Networking. It is. For you, for all of us, networking is important. And as we begin to network, we begin to find out where it is, whatever it is, something that you need. When you do a lot of networking, you'll find, oh yeah, I met this person at such and such a day, over here, over there, and I learned about this issue that I need to change. So getting out, getting involved is something that I ask you to consider. If you're not quite ready, then worry about hitting the ground running on January the 1st.
Indeed. And even today, when Sister Monique Bryant, our esteemed school board member, was about to leave the building, Sister Bernadette at Tahiti walked in. They knew each other, big hugs all around, showing the love. So people that's out there doing things go run into other people that's out there doing things. And that's the main thing. Because even when I was down there at the function at Wayne State, a sister said, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" And I said, "Do you watch WHPR TV 33? She said, "Every now and then." I said, "Do you know the Feedback Show?" They're like, "Yeah." So she's got a magazine called All Eyes on Me. And I told her we'll have her down, talk about the magazine. So she took a few snapshots. She's going to talk about that event. So we got people out here that's doing a lot of things, and everybody's watching Feedback, Ms. Bro.
That's right. And that's something to be happy about and proud of, and I really am glad. And also, on Saturdays, we have a conference call, and for those who don't find it easy to get out or can't get out, we should know that they can call and talk with us about whatever their issue happens to be. They can congratulate somebody in their family, ask questions, share whatever information they're gleaning. And the Saturday program, you already told them, have pen and paper handy.
Mm-hmm.
So the number to call on Saturday, which is between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., is 1-978-990-500. It's 1,000. 1-978-990-5,000. The access code is 338729. Press the pound key and start talking. The access code is 338729. Press the pound key, and when you do that, you will hear a conversation taking place that you will want to participate in. So,
and you never know who's going to call in.
That's right. And you don't have to go anywhere to do this. You don't have to do anything special. If you're in your backyard, you can call in on your phone.
Who called in this weekend, by the way, Miss Bro?
Let me see. We had a caller from California to call in.
Okay.
We have people from all over who do call, and James Ford called in. I think he was in Alabama. I know he goes to Alabama, and he's been working hard on that red light abuse. Oh my goodness, yes. So that was one thing that he called to talk about, and there was somebody else who called him. I'm trying to remember. Russ Ballant called him.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
See?
And he teaches the kind of what they call the financial
I know they do
issues,
the tax issues,
right? Or the property tax, yes. So he was calling to talk about new changes, and oh, geez, it's just it's heartbreaking to know that our people are being just hoodwinked here and there, and that's why it brings me right back to education. So we have to know that the school board meets on the second Tuesday of each month, and they meet 12 months of the year. They don't get a summer vacation like the classroom students do.
We down to the last 3 minutes, bro, and it's been quite a show.
Yeah, it has.
I want to thank all the guests again.
What
you want to leave all these listeners with? Because people don't realize, they always talk about ain't nobody out here fighting for us. What they think we do? What they think Tax Jesse's doing? What do they think all these organizations out here, Detroit Food Co-op, all these organizations we connected with? Matter of fact, one of the young men, real quick, Jawan Howard, we got to get you back down here. Young man we had on last year that wrote the book to help children, navigate how to get to college, is opening his own bookstore, Miss Brewer. So we got to have him on to talk about that. We bought a little small building, and folks, we going to have him on and see if we can't donate some books and get it going.
Yeah, that's wonderful, And as I say, it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary, though, is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. And we at Hood Research seek out as much information as we can and bring it and share it with you. And we encourage you to share with us. The email for Hood Research is contact@hoodresearch.org. Once again, the email is CONTACT. The @ symbol, the little circle A. Then again, the contact is contact@hoodresearch.org. That's that. The telephone number is area code 248-234-2371. We know that we meet on the second Friday at the Veterans Building, which is at 13721 Joy Road. And also we want to say that they have a fundraiser every Friday. They sell dinners, fish dinners, chicken dinners, etc.
Tim said we got to wrap it up. We right there, Miss Brooke.
But anyway, the veterans put their lives on the line for us. We put a few dollars on the line for them. And we want you to tune in again right here next Monday at 9 a.m. for some more important information. Mark?
Once again, just want to thank Brother R.J. Watkins for the station, Brother Timothy Smith, the best engineer in the business. My wife brought us down. I want to say thank you to Miss Monica Cummings, showing the love.
Yes,
Indeed.
yes.
We're going to be back next Monday with my main man, the BDM Pender.
Yes, all
in
right.
the building.
Thank you. Peace. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BDM Pinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHBR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.